Mother is the brainchild from crazed lunatic auteurist Darren Aronofsky, director of films like Requiem for a Dream and Black Swan. And I'm just going to be straightforward with you. If you're someone who enjoyed those films and Aronofsky's distinct artistic approach to filmmaking and the types of films he makes, you will enjoy this film, and the discussions you have with your friends after this film will absolutely transcend your time at the theatre. If you dislike those films that I mentioned, I can guarantee you will either hate this or at least dislike it. This is a film that I think many will be discussing and dissecting for many years to come, and honestly, I think it's going to make a lot of people angry. This isn't the popcorn horror flick that we got last week with It. This is the film that you go to with the friends that like to talk about what certain scenes mean or what the metaphor of the film is, because that's the film Aronofsky has created. Things don't go boom the night. It is not a simple film that wraps up neatly at the end as some typical movie experience. From the very first frame of the film, you are set for an experience you know is going to be completely insane. The film is essentially about this couple who we only know as Mother, played by Jennifer Lawrence, and him, played by Javier Bardem, living in a house isolated from the world so as to help cure Javier Bardem's writer's block, who is known in the film to be this famous poet. One day, a stranger, played by Ed Harris, arrives at their house, who Javier Bardem allows to stay, against Jennifer Lawrence's wishes. Eventually, this leads to a second stranger, Michelle Pfeiffer, arriving at the house claiming to be Ed Harris's wife, and these strangers quickly make themselves at home, much to the distrust and paranoia of Jennifer Lawrence. And really, that's the most I can say without spoiling the film. The film really plays with what all these characters represent, and everyone is going to have their own interpretation and theory of what each character represents, which again is the aim of the film. It's not quite as multi-layered as the films of Stanley Kubrick, but it's definitely the closest we've had in many years. And I really can't believe a major studio actually released this. For some, this may come across as a pretentious film or a bit too artsy, but I really do ask that you give the film a chance and try to understand it, despite some of the more confronting material that occurs in the third act of the film. The film is almost always focused on Jennifer Lawrence, seeing everything from her perspective, really adding to the anxiety and paranoia her character experiences as more and more people make themselves home in her house and treat her as if she is nothing. There is really something to be said about Jennifer Lawrence in this film, especially with how much she has put through and the intensity that she has to endure. The fact that she accepted to put up with everything in the film is honestly insane, and God, I'd love to hear some of the stories from the set once everything is all said and done. Now, as for my interpretation, and if you'd rather not hear this bit, maybe skip ahead about a minute, but Aronofsky has tackled biblical material before, being his 2014 film Noah, and I think Mother is no different, where I could see Jennifer Lawrence representing Mother Earth, while Bardem is God, where the neglect and disregard God has for the earth once humans come into the picture, and the horrors and mistreatment that humans inflict upon the earth really stood out to me. There are definitely some other biblical parallels which appear during the film, the most obvious one being Cain and Abel. Some of these religious connotations may not be for everyone, but they do make the film fascinating to dissect. It helps that the film is beautiful and intrinsically shot to make things feel natural with a beautiful grainy film look. Jennifer Lawrence is deliberately shot to give off a very natural, womanly beauty, something of the earth. Interestingly enough, the film does not utilize a film score at all, and allows the paranoia and fear that Jennifer Lawrence experiences to really be elevated. It's incredible, masterful filmmaking, but I do think ends up being a bit rushed in the third act, however, where so much is happening in such a short period of time, you're expected to be bewildered and confused the way that Jennifer Lawrence's character is in the film. But it does just come off a little bit messy. Aronofsky did reportedly write the screenplay for this in 5 days, and the final act definitely feels like that's the case. If some segments had been cut, as we're already caught up in all the insanity of the last act, I think it may have made the experience a bit smoother, even if it isn't supposed to be easy to swallow, especially as the metaphors of the film become a lot clearer by the end of the film. But Mother is an experience unlike anything you will watch this year. There are some little Rosemary's Baby nods, yes, but honestly, I really haven't seen anything like this since Black Swan hit theaters. I must stress to you, if you are not a fan of Aronofsky's previous films, you are unlikely to enjoy this. But if you are willing to give the film a chance and want to experience kind of a dream-like film, or you do enjoy Aronofsky's style of films, this film will be for you. Mother is going to be a film you'll want to find someone to sit down and talk about with for hours on end. A film I imagine is going to be dissected and used in film schools for many years to come. Mother gets a 9 out of 10 from me. Guys, I hope you like this review. If you did like this review, do remember to hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment down below in the comments section. Have you seen Mother, or are you planning to see Mother? Do let me know in the comments section below. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, do hit the subscribe button with a little bell next to it, which will remind you of when the Mono Report uploads new content. And don't forget, you can follow the Mono Report on Facebook and Twitter at the Mono Report. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to stay right here for your Mono Fix. Bye, guys.